pause here or prop your phone up and record yourself. Okay, doing it. Alright, Dave 2D, here's my reaction video for your latest roast.
Maybe if I give out daily lattes and we show our asses, we can achieve that life. This guy's a little negative Nancy. Negative Nancy.
Silly goose activity is my favorite type of activity. Today is no exception in the activity spectrum. Let's take a peek at Dylan McGaster's new video.
Alright, you look like the Unabomber a little bit. Just a little bit. We got the van.
Hi, I'm Christian.
I'm Aubrey.
And we are the Matneys.
Oh, the rebrand. They're trying to get away from Minimal Millennials, which has been so cursed upon. But Minimal Millennials as a name was just so trashed by my videos that they're trying to rebrand away from that.
And this is our 2007 converted Dodge Sprinter van that we have lived in. We had a little bit of money in the bank.
A little bit of money in the bank, just a smidgen.
We were driving home one day, and my parents had a van they were selling.
We were driving home one day and my parents had a van they were selling? Wait. Hold up.
We didn't really know it.
You're my mom and dad?
Didn't they have a van, and now they're driving home in the van that they call home? Because they're van life people? But they're driving to their parents' house. Home, their parents' house. Home. They were going home to their parents' house. They live at their parents' house.
So this van is a Freightliner Sprinter. Obviously,
The stretch limo van.
since we do so much traveling just around different types of climates, we have a few different tires that we keep in store. We're in Canada right now. We throw some studded tires on there. When we're going to South America in a few days, we're going to throw some all-weather tires on there.
You're in Canada, and you're going to take your van to Australia. How are you going to get it to Australia? Or wherever it is that they're going to go. They're going to travel the world. They're just going to pack your van into a bag and go there. With the tires. All the different types of tires with it, too.
Where the fuck are you putting 3 sets of spare tires? Where the fuck are you gonna put that?
When we're going to South America in a few days, we're going to throw some all-weather tires on there.
You know, when we go to South America, or maybe Myanmar, we might just throw a couple tires on that.
Is it even their van? Or did they drive their car somewhere? Saw someone that had a van, and now they're just like, hey, can we film your van? And then they did that, and then they said, oh, it's our van. I bet you they did something like that. Like, they didn't even own it. It's not even their stuff. They're not even. They broke into somebody's house. They said it's like they live there. They stole a van. They didn't even buy it. They stole it.
Anytime we're living in a city for a month or two at a time, we literally just bike everywhere and find a place to leave the van.
I much prefer the physical labor to get around rather than to drive. I like to exert my own energy to transport my own body across the cityscape. This is called frugality. You might need to learn about it if you ever want to have some money.
This is the tray that we can...
In $1 billion.
When I get my camping gear for going camping, and then sometimes I'll go get my guest bed when I have a guest over, and then sometimes it's snowing and I need a jacket. So I'll just exit the van in the snow, go to the back, slippery slide my slide out, get my jacket out the box. Now I'm ready for the rest of the day.
And then keeps all of our tools for the van. So up here I'll keep a circular saw, a nail gun, a couple drills, like anything that I would need basically to do this entire van again.
What the fuck is with this nail gun shit? Who the fuck is nailing things that often that you need a fucking nail gun?
You need an air compressor, you need the chuck, you need the airline, you need all the stuff to make the air gun work. You have to store all that stuff. A nail gun, any pneumatic tools, like you need an air compressor, you have to charge it, you need the, it has to run the air compressor, you need electricity for that, for your, totally not economical or ergonomic, whatever.
Our solar panel setup is pretty simple. We've got two 100-watt solar panels on the roof, and we have a fantastic fan that we've installed. Nothing too crazy. We drilled right through the roof.
We drilled right through the roof because you know what? cares? We got money. We'll fucking buy another van.
You don't have to deal with a bunch of wires or a bunch of holes in the roof. To our diesel tank.
You drilled a bunch of holes in the roof, and now you don't have to deal with a bunch of holes in your roof. And now you don't have to deal with a bunch of holes drilled in your roof.
Brushes and toothpaste and face wash and everything in there. 12 gallons of water under here and running water. So then we have one tank under here for gray water. We only use biodegradable soap, so we can dump that wherever.
It doesn't matter where we pour that.
Somebody else built this van. Somebody else put it together, and they just bought it and said, oh, look, it's van life. And look, we bought a van that somebody else did, and look, we did all this stuff ourselves. I bet you somebody else's work, somebody else's crappy work, because I don't think these people actually know how to put caulking down and install batteries and solar panels, and whoever did the slider job, don't even blame them. It was whoever else. They bought a crappy van.
This is the problem with nowadays. People are fucking lying on any little thing. No one will admit to a fault. You made it, and you won't accept the fact that it sucks. There's no need to bullshit, folks. Just admit you made a mistake.
I don't think I've met a single person who's actually like gone on the road and made the jump who has regretted it. Like literally not a single person. And I've met a lot of people that have had like an absolutely horrible time with it.
And I've met a lot of people that have had like an absolutely horrible time with it. Like, I don't think I've met a single person who's actually like gone on the road and made the jump who has regretted it.
Obviously, you haven't met very many people, because it's a lot of people that went out to live in their vehicles are like, this sucks. I only am doing this because I have to right now until I can figure out something better to do, because living in a van for that period of time with like no money, you can't afford the gas, you can't go to work, you know, it's not that enjoyable of a life, because you're not out traveling all the time, because you need money for that. Unless you're rich and your parents gave you all this stuff and gave you a van, then you can go out and play. But in real life, if you're living in a vehicle, you're probably having a really hard time financially, and you're not in a great area. You're trying to go find work. You know, what do they do with their lives? How do they make money? It's obviously not just driving around in the van, right? Oh, they don't drive. They ride their bicycles.
Everyone's like, this is the best change I've ever made. You know what I mean?
Everyone's like, this is the best change I've ever made. You know what I mean?
Literally every single day, the worst possible scenario. And they still love it.
Every single day, the worst possible scenario, cracking up about it, laughing, loving life, and we're like, so how's van life? And they're like, it's amazing.
Best
decision we've ever made.
I broke into my van while I was in there, and I love this lifestyle. I'm harassed by police every day, and I love this shit.
But it's been painful and scary, but like really fun.
Sus, disaster every day. Don't care. I love this shit.
I don't know how many people have like avoided them driving this van down the road, and they crash, and these people are like, don't care, your own problem. They put it on cruise control and got out and crashed the last van. That's why they got another van, because they're too dumb to understand how to even operate the van. It's a stolen van. They stole their parents' van. It's probably on like, got a warrant for their arrest, or they don't, because their parents are like, well, our kids stole another one of our vehicles and took off and robbed our bank account, and well, we don't care because we're rich. We own a mansion, and our kids are spoiled little brats.
You know what? This has just been eye-opening experience. I've had a blast talking about this video. This was hilarious.
It's not that great of a life. No, I've lived on the road in a semi-truck doing all the same thing as somebody that's living in a van. Since I was getting paid for it, just pulling a trailer around. You live in a vehicle, you don't have a toilet, you got to go in somewhere to eat all the time, to wash up, you got to go find a shower somewhere. No, putting all that, maintaining in the van it's a lot of work, and it's stressful, and it's like, I can't wait to get back into an environment where things are more convenient. You know, we live in a modern day world, and these modern creations like a toilet and this kind of space. No, there's purpose for it. You can't live in this little tiny cube, little tiny box for very long before it's like, you gotta let me out of here before I go completely crazy. No, you gotta get out of the van and go do something. You can't always live in it.